Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Triangle UK Season 1, Episodes 4 through to 6. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, I must admit, Dave, I've been dying to speak to you about this show and also thinking we could have done this probably in one episode and done the whole show because there's just bits I keep thinking, I need to watch the next episode. But I think what I really liked about this, so we got the text message, didn't we, at the end of the last episode and the dinner party, and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? And then it was basically the shipping out the couples, you know, the partners of the original 6 contestants, and they're bringing in someone else. And I just like that dynamic, Dave. I thought, you know what, this is something completely different. I did like Kelly initially, and I'm going to, I want to talk about Jasmine first. However, we need to talk about the Fatal Attraction remake that's being made right in front of our eyes a bit later, Dave. So let me start with Jasmine. So Jasmine's with Matt, the Mark Owen lookalike. This lad,
I don't know, is he a lookalike?
Say that. Well, someone said I look like David Beckham, Dave, so I've got to say I'm going to go with it. So
he looks as much like Mark Owen as you look like David Beckham.
I look more like David Brent, but yes. So anyway, yeah. Well, interesting, Dave. But Jack comes on the scene, complete fucking reality TV contestant, absolute knobhead. I say, drops a joke in there about have her eyebrows been gone out with a chainsaw, which I thought was fucking like, oh mate, what is going? But as the week went on, there's a chemistry between them completely blindsided me. I was like, these are not going to get on. But yeah, honestly, the first interaction with him, she fucking hated him, didn't she? And yeah, I was very surprised how this relationship played out.
Yeah, so wow, what an unusual scenario, which we don't normally have. I think the first thing is there's a weird dynamic, isn't there? So when we watch Love Island or something, there's you've got 5 girls, 5 boys, and they, obviously these are all kind of hetero relationships, but they have choices. So they pair up initially, but it's not like they're married at that point. They've got choices. They can speak to whoever they want, and if they've got a connection, they can go and explore it with that. There's a weird shift in power to the choosers. So, and you can see it. Because the other people, the people who are being chosen, they don't have a choice. Whereas the choosers seem to have all the power in this relationship. And that's what's made it interesting for me. Plus, I will say, all the people who are getting onto us saying, you must review this show, it's full of bell ends, we're bang on. It's definitely full of bell ends. But I think the thing that was going on with that whole triangle with Jasmine, Jack, and Matt, that was one of the most interesting ones because she was all in with Matt, wasn't she? She was almost ready to settle down, get a puppy or something, move in together. And, she's crying. She's sort of hating Jack. I mean, he does come in like an absolute knob, doesn't he? I mean, but I have to say, I watched it twice and I thought, well, you can see actually early on because Jasmine, like I say, she was all in with Matt. Not interested in doing this thing, but I'm here for the show, so I've got to play it through. But she's like, oh, it's such a fucking knob. And then she's the one who starts taking the piss out of him first. She says, oh, your eyebrows are massive. And then he's like, my eyebrows, look at yours. Have you gone out and with chainsaw? Which he really doesn't like. And then he was like, oh, that's 2 red flags and you've got pale ankles. And she fucking hates that initially. But I thought this was a classic case of negging, which obviously, Chris, back in the day when we were experiencing those teenage and years and whatever, we didn't know what the fuck this was, And I thought, I don't think I've ever seen it on one of these shows where it's been so blatant. So he has really taken the piss out of her. And then over the week, you can see how it's completely changed. That she's like, Matt, who? Meanwhile, he's fucking crying in Wales somewhere.
Yeah. On a freebie, though, Dave. He's on a freebie.
Yeah. But it's weird how it's changed. It almost makes you feel like that Temptation Island. Do you remember that? Was it the second season where the guy's like, "Yeah, it's okay," and if we meet other people, it's fine. Whereas the girl was like, "Oh no, I'm really insecure. I don't want to speak to anyone." And then by the end of the time, he's crying his eyes out and asking to take me back or whatever. And she's checked out. She's off with someone else now. Yeah. So that's sort of how it seemed to flip here. And yeah, I mean, what do you reckon? How that dynamic changed?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because these aren't the only couple. Obviously, we talk about Jasmine and that, but the other couples, there's only one couple who stayed together, which we'll talk about Zarelina, but everyone else was like, "Oh, let's go." I mean, obviously Lloyd and Brody's never going to happen. I like the dynamic of that. I like that intrepidation. The thing is now, Dave, it was a good little twist, and I know it's not like I was going about your mum, my dad, but it's not bad if they do this again. It'll give the contestants who come in and are picked a bit of a realization, like, well, I'm only going to be with them for a week. I need to make an impression. It does feel like, I'll be honest with you, David, I know it's made by Maths Australia, but that almost feels like Casa Amor, and the way they bring them back in as well. It's very Love Island in the way they sort of set them up. But obviously they're living together. They're living in Manchester. They're in a flat, aren't they? They're sharing a bed and everything if they want to. So it does feel like a bit of a Love Island rip-off, that bit, as much as it is DNA, is Maths as well. But I like it. I like that. I like that. Like, we're dead secure. We're dead secure. Okay. Kelly's there wearing fucking pajamas and everything just to make sure she's got his scent. And he's like, what? Who?
Fucking spraying her perfume everywhere. But let's not get onto them too quickly. So I agree, though, the kind of dynamic of it. But do you not think that the shock, like certainly, I said, let's not speak about Kelly yet, but Kelly, is thinking, right, this is it. We're coupled up. This is great. Because these guys probably don't know what the name of the show will be. It will have some kind of code name that they'll have applied for. This is a dating show. So that shock when that text message drops and it's like, you're going to, at least the other ones are going to come in, the second choices. And then they find out later, don't they, after those dates that, they're going to move in and the other ones are going to move out. That shock factor, you can't recreate that. So the people coming into, if there's a season 2 love triangle, and I know there's like Love Triangle Australia and stuff, but that won't be there. And the game playing will happen a bit more then.
Yeah. And the contestants will get worse probably, Dave. That's the problem. This is the first series where we say, I don't think it's necessarily lightning in a bottle, but it's very, very good. And it's a good filler show for us to cover, especially off the back of Maths. I think because it's quite similar, that twist is very good. It's very good. And that would have been interesting in Maths if they'd done something like that and just gone, right, fuck it, you're swapping. Not just where they go, and they do that, but I mean, actually where they try and form a relationship.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, which way do you think it's going to go for Jasmine? I mean, she's checked out of Matt, hasn't she already?
Yeah. He's going to have to go back and do his Take That singing back for good again. And
is that just? Or what's the other one? The Mark Owen one? Babe, I'm here again. Fuck off.
I've seen him twice live, so I can't say anything, Dave. I don't mind a bit of Take That.
I like a bit of Take That as well, but so she's definitely checked out. And I think out of everything, it was when she said that, I realized I wasn't really being myself with Matt. It was like we were already kind of married, whereas Jack, it's like you're having a laugh with your best mate and then you want to take the clothes off as well. So that for me was pretty much the nail in the coffin. I was just going to say it's a weird thing where, he was fairly secure. And as the week went on, I mean, he descended as much as anyone, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like Kelly, wasn't he? He's
Yeah.
literally second guessing himself. The insecurities kicked in. He was all in this relationship, and maybe they did seem like they were forging that proper couple relationship, and that's probably what has hurt him. But mate, you're on a fucking game show. You've come through a talent agency. If you're gonna take it so personal, you're in for a fucking rude awakening, my friend. You know what I mean? So yeah, I haven't really got a lot of sympathy for him, if I'm being honest.
No, well, do you not think it's the nice guys finish last? Do you not think he's probably going to be thinking that? But yeah, I mean, a couple of grumpy old bastards like us aren't going to have any sympathy, are we? It's just like, look, it's a fucking week, mate. You know what the score is. All of these shows now are derivatives of things that have come before. So, why would you be surprised? And who would come on to one of these shows? Because, like I say, they wouldn't have known necessarily it was going to be called Love Triangle, but they would have known it was from the creators of Married at First Sight. Who goes on that and thinks, I think these producers have got my best interests at heart. I hope they can find me a good match.
Yeah, true. He's fucking right. You're so right. It's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah. It is bullshit. But no, good stuff. What about Finger then, Dave? So who's really interesting as a contestant on this is Danica. Like, she snogged Lloyd. Obviously, Jack and her are like friends now, and they're very open about that. They seem to be getting on really well as mates. She gets Moses comes in, who actually likes her. It looks like there's something there, but all she keeps going on about is fucking Lloyd, Dave, over it. And she's like, and I don't know what spell he's cast on her, but she's like, I've just got to find out. I've just got to find out. And I'm like, Lloyd is an absolute bellend. Why do you want to do that? She's obviously always going to go with these guys who are going to treat her so disrespectfully. Because Lloyd is, I mean, a bit of his personality come out, but as we're watching it, he sat there, Moses called it absolutely on the money. He went, he's just fucking taking the mix. He's just nobody. He's just, he's already said, you are just someone I'd have a one night stand with. He said, like, I'm here, I'm present, but she's just not interested, is she, at all?
No, I think that was interesting as well. I think she was probably, that definitely came across more like the wannabe influencer. And you're saying she got on well with Jack. I mean, she's still got a chip on her shoulder. That he didn't give her a hug or something like that, but like really fucking giving him shit about it. But it seems to be that's dead in the water now. And again, do you not think it's a bit like Jack with Jasmine that Lloyd says it was in the first 3 episodes, wasn't it? It's like, yeah, if I was going to have a one night stand, Danica would definitely be the sort of person I'd go for. She had a face like thunder on her. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's a closed door now. But apparently, Chris, that makes you more desirable.
I know. Fucking mad, innit? Treating me and keep him keen.
Because, I mean, Moses seems like a great sort of guy. And I'm like, I do not understand it. Like, Lloyd, I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's got good conversation. And we'll get more onto, his new match as well and some of the weird fucking interactions there. But yeah, Danica, she's only got eyes for Lloyd. And it's like, okay, maybe you've just got to get that one night stand out of the way and then move on, because at the minute her head is too clouded with Lloyd to even give Moses a chance. And so I do feel sorry for him, because he does seem like he's actually trying to build a connection there.
Yeah, and you're right. He broke down what Lloyd's about in that one conversation, and she's like, yeah, I've just got to find out. And I'm like, well, it's your own fault when this all blows up in your face, because I mean, Lloyd, what a character he is, Dave. Obviously, she absolutely wants a piece of him. I don't know how it plays out. He does sort of, it's quite interesting because he does get Emily, doesn't he? And it brings out more of his personality. He's less an arse with her at certain points, I must admit. Mm-hmm. He's less of an arse with her. And there is a softer side to him, but then he just goes and says something fucking stupid. And he has no respect.
I love you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So thought we were going to break out into a duet song there. So
No, the voice isn't there today, Dave. But yeah, he just loves himself, and whoever he gets with has got to actually bow at the fucking platform that is Lloyd. You know, you've got to bow at him and give him all this praise. He's the catch that you've been dreaming of, ladies. Apparently, he's just a fucking cock for me. He's absolute cock. He is. He's a cock, and I just think. Let him be. I mean, Brody loves the fact that he's with someone she's not asked whatsoever, is she? But yeah, fucking hell.
But when Emily comes in, I'm thinking, okay. I mean, we've seen Lloyd. We sort of know who he is a bit, at least the reality TV version of him. And Emily comes in, she's quite excited, and she does the entertainment. What did she say? She was a hostess on cruise ships or something like that. Yeah. But she said, "Oh, it's kind of like being a DJ." I'm like, is it? But so I don't know exactly what that is, but it seemed like in terms of lifestyle, and Lloyd's eyes seem to light up at that idea. Oh, you got someone who gets me, someone like that, like a female version of me. And so I'm thinking, all right, okay, well, let's see where this goes. But then the moment I could almost hear, the sound of like the airplane crashing. That for a crash and burn. When he starts describing it and saying, "Oh well, I think the most important thing is about honesty. Can we agree that it's about honesty and being open and whatever?" And then he's like, I had a connection with one of the other brides, and can you guess who it is from all the pictures? And I was, my toes were curling. It's like, Lloyd, you fucking bellend, because it was a weird, subtle brag, wasn't it? He's like, "Oh, which one do you think I would go for, and which one do you think I'd pull?" kind of thing. I thought that was so fucking weird, and she obviously didn't take to it too kindly either. But yeah, what did you think of that whole section where
it's brilliant? Yeah. Sorry if the talk over. It's just nonsense, isn't it? Like, he is the ideal character for this show. He's absolutely what the producers needed. He's just a dick, and you said it in the last episode, you're right. He isn't playing the reality TV game, to be fair, is he?
No.
Like, he's not going to like Brody or this Emily. Like, I tell you what, let's just pretend. Maybe he is this Emily. Maybe we'll see it as it goes on. There's another 3 episodes then of a reunion. We're going to find out how that plays out. But at this point, he's just making it about himself. And as much as he's a dick, I'm sort of here for it, because it's like just stumbling into his arrogance at times. Like, he's so arrogant and loves him. And there's nothing wrong with actually backing yourself, is there? And having faith in yourself and believing. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not the right way he's gone about this at all. However, it's been really funny watching him, because he just doesn't care. And I think that Danica's just going to come back. I think he'll probably snog her again. There'll be something going on. There's definitely more to this story with this guy.
Well, even when they met up, and it's weird, isn't it? Because they can have gatherings, but they're not dinner parties. And I don't quite get it. It's clear from the mass producers, they're like, okay, the bits in between the commitment ceremonies and the dinner parties are a bit filler. But the real gold is in the kind of dinner parties, and when everyone kind of gets together, and it's the conversations between all the different couples and that. And I've watched some of the very early Married at First Sights, and it was more like old school reality TV. It was like serious. It was like about, can you actually match someone up scientifically? And then it just became carnage, which we love. But Lloyd even has the conversation, because, Moses had a frank conversation with Lloyd, like you said. And then Lloyd kind of gives we should just concentrate on our own couples, and, sort of has that frank conversation with her. Well, Chris just seems to make him fucking more wet for him.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this fucking magic that you have, Lloyd? Because I don't see it, but I kind of, or rather, I don't believe it. I do see it on the screen, but there's something I just find very strange about it all, and I don't understand.
Yeah, honestly, Dave, it is one of them myths. It's like when you used to be at school. There'd always be a lad who the girls love, but you think you're a fucking dick. Like, what is going on? He must just have something about him that he could just. I think it's the fact that he's dismissive, and the way he said, like, he's just someone to have a one night stand. That is almost like a challenge to her, and a dialogue is about. I love the challenge. Moses isn't giving her the challenge; he's giving her that bit of security. The time they spent together, maybe it's that. The excitement of I'm going to break this guy. He will like me. I'm not just going to be a one night stand. Whereas in Lloyd's head, he's thinking, well, that's another notch on the bedpost when I go cruising around the world. Yeah, it just
best update my spreadsheet.
Yeah, like on Love Island. How many have you slept with? 134. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, in fact, no, 35. Yeah, it's like
you must have a cataloging device of some sort. If it's a spreadsheet, I mean, is it a little book? You can't carry those numbers in your head, I don't think.
No. No, you can't. You just genuinely can't. I don't care who you are, whether you're fucking Dirt Diggler. You're not going to be carrying that down with you.
Fucking Dirt Diggler.
Legend. That's it, legend. So, Dave, what about Dan and Ali stroke Amy? So, Dan, no love lost between him and Ali. Just completely a knobhead. And like you said, he was your bellend of the week last week. And watch him again this week. What is this guy doing? He's on a different fucking planet, and he absolutely loves himself.
Oh, this guy is the biggest dick. He's an even bigger dick than Lloyd. And I can kind of get that read on Lloyd, because he's just a man-child, isn't he? He's a fucking 31-year-old DJ, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But he's loving the lifestyle, isn't he? Chris, we haven't been all boogieing on down the nightclub for many years now, but I remember there always girls flocking round fucking the DJ booth and stuff. And again, it was just one of those things. It's like, yeah, but I mean, he doesn't even have a record. He doesn't have records that he changes. He just literally selects different tunes. He's a walking fucking jukebox. Like, I just don't get it. I'll never quite understand it. So there's no shortage of opportunities. So I can see where Lloyd's coming from and his dick behavior. Like you say, I can appreciate him being on the show. But honestly, Dan, is such a fucking knob. I mean, after Ali called him out and said, I don't see that you're genuine, and you're saying, like, let's keep this for the camera and stuff like that, totally threw him under the bus. She starts to have that kind of, she starts an apology, doesn't she? And then he sat there like a child. And she's saying, look, I'm sorry the way it all came out, but I do stand by what I said. And he's like, oh, so it's a half apology.
Yeah.
And what I just can't stand is he can just, it's all about me. To, adore me. He's such a fucking knob. And he can't see anything from anyone else's perspective. It's like, fucking, I told you I have trauma. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing on this fucking show? You don't go and meet someone for the first time and say, oh, I'm not really over my ex kind of thing. I can't stand him. He's the biggest fucking knob sock on this fucking show, Chris, Dan.
Knob sock. Fucking knob sock. I thought that's in school. Fucking brilliant. But I think the situation with Amy was like, it starts off well. Amy's got some fire in her belly. She did remind me of like a reality TV, contestant, very Towie-ish, the way they had that argument about like, she wants more, but all he had to do, Dave, was when she was going to get the milk out to make the fucking cup of tea, was pin her up against the fridge. And then that was it. Everything's back on side, Dave. And then they were like, well, did you sex it? No. We just kissed, like, and that's it. It's all is forgiven. I thought she was right, what she was saying to him, because his personality, his tone, everything has been about his ex, blah, blah, blah. He already said to Ali, let's do this on camera. He's just there for the Instagram life, and he doesn't give a fuck about any of them. I'm pretty sure he might even be still with this girl, like he was supposed to be heartbroken with. It could just be another Jack or whoever off maths, another bullshit fucking relationship. It just feels like he's only there for the airtime, and it's because and in such a short. Such a small show. It's not like a 3-month thing where you can weed them out like Maths or Love Island, where you can clearly see there's some bullshit going on. This is a 10-episode show, and already it looks fake as fuck. And that's very, very hard to do that with such a small window for us to sort of get his personality. But I agree, he's an absolute fucking cock.
Yeah, and I think the reason, his face did light up when Amy was talking about, I'd love to do traveling and this, that, and the other. And all of, his little face was so beaming because he's thinking, oh, well, have I got some stories to tell you, because you want to do this stuff. I am doing this stuff, so he's all pandering to his ego. And then when she actually gets to know him, and then she's sort of having a serious discussion with him. And then he gives the old fucking, well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Patronizing.
Yeah, it is fucking patronizing, isn't it? Because it's not authentic. It's not actually what you're thinking. It's like you've got a stock phrase that you're going to put out there. And yes, in some context, it would be a right response. But in that context, it fucking wasn't. And she called him out on it. But then with the whole switch, I'm like, did I buy all of this? I'm not sure, because it's weird. Like, we've seen Dan and his sort of personality before. We've seen you have an argument, but now off camera, they had this really great chat and they've had this passionate kiss and whatever, and it's all fucking great. I'm like, this all feels off. I'm not saying, they'd fake that, but there's something that doesn't add up for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's just faking it. It's fake. And what I don't get is, like, the producers, like, the audience are getting wiser to this sort of thing. We're always pointing out, we've been saying it for years, but they still keep doing it. It's still like, you need us to invest in this. You want a second series of Love Triangle. Make us believe that at least somebody somewhere is in love. Well, actually, Dave, there is actually one couple that the only positive from these fucking bell ends is Zavalina and Lloyd. She gets with Simon. Yeah. The big, like, gym guy. He's definitely been taking extra supplements. He's a big lad. She does sort of exfoliate him, tan him down, and all that. And you're thinking, oh, maybe there's something there, but there isn't. And they both. What made me laugh is, Dave, Simon definitely thought there was something there. He was bigging it up on the camera. And the next scene, she was perfect fucking editing. To be fair, she went, yeah, we're just friends. And then he come back going, yeah, I thought that myself. We're just friends. I'm like, fuck off. You definitely thought that you were going to get with her. He literally flipped, and then he was making it out as if he'd made the choice to say this fucking thing. But the fact that her and Lloyd, when they did get back together, was lovely, actually, Dave. I was actually genuinely, between them both, I was thinking, you know what? There is genuinely a chance between you two. Everyone else I'm not believing, but you two, I think there is something there.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with all of what you said there. Simon was just like trying to save face, wasn't he? And again, it was an awkward conversation. It was almost like she was leading him on to the, and we're not. We are just friends. Yeah. That's right. I agree with you, Simon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like you said, the one fucking couple that might work out of this. Actually, I'm gonna come to someone else in a minute. But yeah, in terms of the matched couples, this is the one where you're thinking, there does genuinely seem to be something there, and from both sides as well. Lloyd was, airing, how he felt in the Wales. What do they call it, like that hideaway? You can't, not hideaway, but the Welsh house where the rest of them,
like
the
a retreat
rejects were.
Yeah.
So when they met together, you could see she was genuinely happy. So yeah, that was good.
It was good. And I've saved these on purpose at the end, Dave, because I have been pissing myself watching this couple all week. Mike and Kelly stroke the new girl, Danielle. So Mike and Kelly started off, I thought, brilliant. He's got the backstory telling us about how he'd lost his mum. When she came over to the UK, he's a professional basketball player. Kelly, all in, they'd slept together, everything was good. And then I must admit, as the back end of the first 3 episodes going, I'm thinking, I'm getting a little bit of Glenn Close feels about you. Well, in episode 4, Dave, that definitely came out. I'm not justifying what Mike's done in that respect, but I honestly think he's picked the right person here because Kelly is so intense. So, like, she's picked the wedding dress, she's got the venue, everything. And Mike's just like, yeah, I'm just playing the game. It's just part of the, the experiment sort of thing. So I do think him and Danielle was a better match than him and Kelly. But the way it's all unfolded, and we've only got a little fucking snippet of it yet, and the way that she was like friends with Matt, and they're both like, no, he's not going to do it. Dave, fucking loved it. And that Casa Amor bit when they came in was fucking brilliant because Lloyd had said to Zaralina, we're the only couple who is still together. And she's like, oh my God, no. And then Mike strolls in with his fucking gap in his teeth, pissing himself, going, yeah, hey everyone, yeah. Oh, Dave, I loved the way that felt, that all came apart in the episodes.
I don't know if I've just forgotten this or missed it. So Mike and Kelly did sleep together, did they?
Yeah. So they were in bed, weren't they? This is the first episode, and they were like looking at each other. And they 100% they slept together. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, fucking hell! Look up your bunny. So Mike is trying to do the diplomacy thing, isn't he? He's trying to walk the middle line, but I'll be honest, and this is where, Chris, the producers are fucking arseholes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because there is something about Kelly. She is a bit intense, but she's a 38-year-old woman, right? Picked first. And yes, according to the show that we watch, they pick them themselves, right? It would not surprise me if someone came out and said, they had a bit of a jab in the ribs from the producers. Oh, no, you should go this way. Yeah, but, and even if they don't forcibly make them make one choice, they'll guide them down that direction. So all of this is fucking producer led, I think, and not in terms of like being a scripted thing, but they're definitely like, okay, we've got Kelly here. She's saying she's been cheated on by everyone. She's got massive insecurities. She's desperate to have babies and stuff. Yeah, let's put her in first. And then we will bring in someone who is 8 years younger than her. And fucking chaos will ensue. Good one, lads. Good meeting. Let's do that. So what a bunch of bastards. I feel like, yeah, so Kelly, super intense and definite Glenn Close vibes, right? But the producers are absolute fucking cunts, aren't they? Honestly, just real fucking. This is the triangle that they're really trying to fuck up for TV.
100%. And you're right, because then obviously Kelly then gets her moment for everyone to run round after her, don't they? And it's all about her then. She's the main character. I think Mike should stay with Danielle, if I'm being honest. I said it before. I just think Kelly is going to bring so many problems. And it's obviously why she's still single. I hope that, maybe she'll change. Maybe she will get with somebody and see this and go, oh my God, I'm too intense. It's the edit. We might get the old classic, it's the edit.
Yeah.
But for once, even though I don't permit, I don't agree with cheating, in the context of this show, I'm letting this one slide because I think Mike actually is going to get away from this one.
But is it cheating in this show? Like, the context of the show. Like I say, in the first week, maybe they didn't. Maybe they thought, okay, I'll make a selection and then that's it. But once it's clear, like, okay, well, there is this triangle thing. It's not like you can marry off and say, well, no, because I made a selection in that first week, that I'm still with that person in week 2. It's all this weird fucking process that you wouldn't have in real life, would you? It's just all this weird bubble for reality TV and our entertainment. So I don't know if I can consider it cheating in this context, but Kelly definitely feels betrayed. She said that, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. No matter what we think, Dave, It's cheating in Kelly's eyes, my friend. And that's all we need for this fucking show. So you are correct. As part of the experiment, but I do think it plays into what you said about, like, did they know the original sort of dates they get with, like, Kelly and that, they don't know the show. They obviously didn't know this was going to happen. Whether the original contestants have had a heads up and say, look, there's going to be a twist, we're going to introduce new people, look shocked. I feel as if, like, the ones they get with originally, they didn't know. Maybe the original, the main sort of characters knew. But either way, Dave, I can't wait for episode 7 because this Casa Amor fallout and the dinner party thing is going to be real. Because I presume this is the last dinner party of the whole series because we're going into the last 3 episodes, aren't we, this week?
Well, 4 episodes.
And the reunion. Yeah, the reunion. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting.
Oh, I can't wait. But just getting back to Kelly again, you're right about it's the way she feels. And the other thing that jarred with me a little bit was she said, I feel blindsided. It's like, okay, so let's say you were in a long-term relationship, which is how she's behaving, and, you're playing happy families or whatever, and then suddenly you find out, Mike is having an affair with someone else. That, for me, you're perfectly justified to say you've been blindsided.
Yeah.
You have literally been on a show where it is, you've waved him off, to have a date with this other person. You've had a week to think about it in this retreat, and then you've come back. What bit of that was blindsided? I don't know why. It just irritated me, the use of that word. It's not blindsided, is it? She's hurt and she's disappointed. Yes. She thought that they had this special connection, but I wouldn't say it's obvious why she's single, but I mean, I think she does need to tone it down a little bit, because I would think, even if Mike was on the fence when he walked into that, what do they call it? It's not a dinner party, but like the cocktail party or whatever it was.
I think it's cocktail party. Yeah,
even if he was on the fence there, her energy would have drove him away.
Yeah, I agree.
The grilling that he got, and you can see he's trying to be really careful with the words that he's using, and he's trying to sort of reassure her that it's not a done deal or anything. And I almost think in this scenario it'd be slightly better if he was a bit of a bastard about it, if he was a bit of a Lloyd about it. They just said, yeah, we had this great sort of thing for a week, but yeah, I'm done here now.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, the preview for the dinner party looks bloody brilliant, and so I'm looking forward to seeing him dance around trying to walk this middle line. But everyone else seems to go at everyone else, and that's what I can't wait for. So it's been a little bit of agony waiting to talk to you, so I could just get on with the next episodes. But before we kind of get into the wrap up, Chris, there is a weird kind of couple that's formed from the ashes, like a phoenix from the flames, isn't there? So Ali, who Dan thinks, is a dark cloud of, negative energy and whatever, presumably he will be, or she will be his trauma when he's having a future relationship conversation. But Ali and Jack, yoga guy Jack, seem to have, sparked up a little romance there.
Yeah, and that was interesting because she said that, didn't she, from the start? He's a little bit different. But, obviously, Jack wasn't a main contestant. So it's interesting they've let this sort of be filmed, because they're basically 2 dates, aren't they, you've got together? They're not like the main 6 characters. You look at all the press stuff and they're not in it. However, it's good because they were perfect for each other by the looks of it, Dave. He's a little bit different. She's a little bit different. She likes the fact that he's got something quirky about his personality and everything. So, yeah, I mean, you're right, actually. I said about Zaralina and that and Lloyd. Maybe these will be the ones who make it more than anyone else, because it's come from left field.
And that's the unexpected thing about this show. This kind of wild card that, okay, you put the other side to the triangle, you put them all together, and organically or maybe, producers in the background or whatever, you might get some relationships sparking out of that. So, I don't think it's going to happen in this series, but with the format, I could see it in the future where the choosers, the ones who have the power, and really kind of know that they have the power, they might send someone back. Someone else might go to that house, spark up another relationship, and then the chooser is like, no, I want this person who's in Wales, and then they come back. And then they're no longer on the table. So, I'm sort of presupposing what future seasons might be. But, I kind of like that bit of the format. I think there's potential there.
Yeah, there is, to be fair. Like you said, what's going to happen in the second series? Are we going to get... There's got to be new ideas, haven't there? There's got to be something a little bit different, because these reality TV fucking wannabes will be fucking thriving, frothing at the mouth, won't they, to get on this show?
Yeah.
With the same format.
Especially when it gets more popular. I mean, this season 1, and it'll be word of mouth, won't it? People will be saying, "Oh, you got to watch Love Triangle," so it might grow. Look, it wasn't even that long ago in the UK. No one knew what Married at First Sight was.
Yeah,
and it's not quite as big as Love Island, is it? But it's really quite popular now. So if this series can get as popular as, say, Married at First Sight, then they'll all be coming out of the woodwork.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for doing this, mate. I've enjoyed doing this one. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. As always, please get over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I've had loads of people join up over there. Big thanks to Charlene, as always, for running and moderating the Facebook page. If you do get a chance, please get over to your podcast catching app and drop myself and Dave a review of the show. We really appreciate all the reviews, good, bad, everything. And we say it all the time, but if you rip it into one of us or both of us, we read them out. We take great pride that someone's done that and give us a slate, and that's what it's all about. But if you do want to support us a little bit more, a massive thank you to every single person who's supported the podcast over the last 5 years, Dave. 5 years we've been doing this, which is unbelievable. Patreon.com/CD RealityCast. So please come and support us if you feel you want to support the show. We really appreciate it. So the roll call of honor, massive thank you to Stacey, Sinead, Jessie, Kathleen, Tim, Andrea, Nick, Danielle, Kim, Amanda, Larissa, Helen, Nicola, Fiona, Maggie, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much for all your support, guys, past and present. We really, really appreciate it.
No, that's amazing. And just thinking ahead, Chris, so we've got the 4 episodes left, but we're approaching a time when you're going to be flying off as well. So what do you reckon? We just blast through the last 4 and then we'll record next weekend?
Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll announce what we're going to do next, Dave, as if anybody needs to guess what that is.
It's a well-kept secret what we'll do after that for the summer.
Yeah, you'll hate me even more. Amazing stuff. I love it. I fucking love it.
The fucking joke of it, right, is that you're fucking off on holiday and I'm the miserable fucker left behind, like, covering this series. But, delighted.
That'll make that trip on holiday and that first pina colada taste even better, Dave. But there you go.
Well, I hate watching fucking that series that we all know what it is. But no, honestly, cheers for this. It has been good fun. I know I moan, but I also love it as well. It's that same kind of love-hate relationship I have with every bit of reality TV, to be honest. But Chris, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.